and welcome down to Devon Koi Pond on a beautiful bank holiday weekend. Absolutely glorious down here this morning. We've had a really handsome brilliant week. Got a few jobs done this week down on the pond. Managed to get away from our indoors up there for a little bit in the workshop. A bit of a tidy up, all sorts. I've got some stuff I'll show you in on the solar, what that's been doing. And I've actually done the rings around the top of the two moving beds. My back's feeling good enough to lean in there and do all that. So I've got a little bit of a clip and a video on that, which I'll show you. Today I'm going to clean out the vortex, switch the easy off, switch the pump off, drain it down, give it a bit of a blast with a hose, and then start it up running again. So that's the little project for this morning. The competition last week for the koi plaques and temperature gauge, that winner I'll put up here or here or here. That'll be off in the post to you as soon as you contact me. The answer was 13 degrees last week and 14.2 degrees this week. Right, that said, that video was done last week, so we'll have a quick look and see what the temperature is doing now. So it's about 10 o'clock in the morning down here this morning. Fish are all well up for it. Yesterday the pond temperature at the end of the afternoon was well over 16 degrees. So I don't know what it's dropped down to overnight. We're at 17.1. So the little job I'll show you in a minute is what I've done on the two moving beds here. I've put the two new plastic collars around the top. I'll show you that, me doing that. That was a little project. But again this morning. So what I was going to show you was me building these two rings. But unfortunately, owing to operator error, a few technical glitches, I managed to delete the clips. So this is what happens in these pots when I run it full bore, which I do. If I'm having visitors, I whack the filters up to full bore and run them through for an hour, a couple of hours beforehand to exchange bond and give all the water a bit of a polish. But this filter was only designed to run about 3,500 litres, and running 20,000 for it is just way too much for it, and the water rises up. So these collars were needed around the top, and they'd gone brittle in the sun and were starting to break up, so I've redone them. It runs through the two of them, as you can see. But on normal running it's down like an inch below the level of the pots. If I run up to about 10,000 it'll handle that, but run at 20,000 and it's just way too much. Brings up the level. I think it's to do with the exit pipe on the last chamber. It's only a 3-inch pipe. I've added another 1.25 inches to it, but it still doesn't get out the last pot fast enough, so it back builds up in the pots. But now with these rings back on, I can safely run it up to 20,000 just for a quick polish before visitors. Not that I have that many here to look at the fish, but a few. This is the last pot over here. This one at the moment's got its 3 filter foams in. I'm back running on my summer pump, a large winter pump. It's in the workshop, ready for a rebuild. I'll give you a quick look at that one and a bit of a service on that next week, so I'll catch that in a video for you. So sorry for losing the footage of me making these two rings and gluing them in. But there, technical itch, bit of a brain fart, and I managed to delete the clip. So, back to the video. This is the main job. This one hasn't been cleaned for a week. I do this one weekly, and the Easy Pods weekly. So let's go in for a bit of a close-up, and we can see what's happening here. So you can see the rubbish that the brush has collected, and that doesn't get through the filter screen. So basically I just switched the pump and everything off a minute. I'll probably fast forward this bit. You've seen me clean it before, but I'll video it and show it again. So let's give this one a clean a second. So I'll shut the water off to it. Open the bottom drain valve. Just got to hold this one down until it fills with water, or it floats off the top of the pipe. Well, there, that's it. Restarted the pump on the answer, on the bottom drain pump. Pump on the answer is running on 25 watts. And that'll pull the sediment out again now for another week. There, that was the little clean on that. A little bit of cloud. But it's absolutely gorgeous down here today. Got the old blanket weed growing. That's going to hit me. I knew it would. Last year it was about 3 or 4 weeks after I took the covers off. It's going to be about the same this week. We can tempt them to the top again a bit with a bit more food a second. While we're on the food, you don't want to go feeding them too much too soon. Just enough. You need the filters to be able to keep pace with what the fish are eating. If you start piling the food in too quick, you'll end up with all sorts of problems with the filters. You get an ammonia build up and then everything will start to go wrong. So feed gently to start with. If you've got wheat germ left, feed the wheat germ first before you move on to the summer food, and test your pond water regularly, looking for the ammonia spike that you will get, which will hopefully dissipate down pretty quickly, turn into nitrite, and then that one disappearing, and you know you've got a cycle going. Then it's just a question of building that cycle up till it can support the amount of food you can throw in. You can see there on the small ogon, the Popeye is curing up on that one. It's fantastic. It did it last year and it's done it again, and it clears itself up. I'm loath to take out in the winter and treat unless I absolutely have to. I haven't done a scrape yet this year. There has been a little bit of flashing from the odd fish or two, but it's usually after just after they've had food, so a lot of them flick and push around with a bit of stuff in their gills. I'll be keeping a close eye on it, and I will pop one out in the next week and have a scrape, or a couple of fish and have a scrape, just to see what's going on. So again, congrats to the winner of this week's competition. I'll get those koi plaques in the post and off to you as soon as I can. Hi, so in here, this is still as was, waiting for some switches from eBay so that I can flick between the grid tie inverter and the batteries. As you can see this morning, I'm using kilowatt, that's using 280 watts from the mains, 270 watts from the mains. And I've found out that with this plug, usage plug, plugged in, it'll run backwards. So I've actually got 230 watts coming in from the solar at the moment. Pond's using about 200 watts, so there's 30 watts spare, which is going into the house. But this here needs to tidy up. It's all working right now, and the panels on the roof, I want to tip them a little bit more south. They're on a slow pitch roof that's facing east. I want to lift them up a little bit on their back edge so they're tipping a little bit more south as well. I reckon if I can lift them 4 or 5 inches more at the back, it'll gain me during peak of the day well over the 400 watts. Whereas at the moment I'm only seeing a peak of about 380. So that's all running quite well and quite fine. So let's nip back outside again. I hope you've all enjoyed this little segment from down here in Devon. Beautiful bank holiday weekend. I hope you're all out with your fish as well, doing what you can in the garden. Some of you've probably been out the garden tidying now for a few weeks. I know I have. I've still got loads to do. Can always find enough stuff home here to occupy myself. But from down here in Devon now, happy ponding, and I'll catch you all in another one. Bye for now. you.